Well, I can't sleep again. So I figured if I'm going to be awake, might as well do something constructive, right? So I've been meaning to start a video blog. No time like the present. It's actually something that's only recently occurred to me to do. I mean, I've seen other people have video blogs before, but it just never occurred to me because my old computer didn't even have a webcam, so I had no way to do one. And even if I had, I mean, it's only relatively recently in my life I even get what blogging's all about in the first place. I mean, my blog is very active now, the Peddling Prince, but when I first set it up, it was like months before I even did any substantial entries in it, because I guess I just didn't understand. Like I'm a very private person, and I don't talk about a whole lot of my life in public. So I just didn't see what the heck would I ever want to even talk about on a blog. But after a while, reading other people's personal blogs, I began to see what the benefit or what the appeal was. I mean, if you have something that's really just sticking in your craw and you want to vent about it, it's a great way to do that. You got ideas about how people should, life, the universe, and everything. Ideas about, well, whatever is going on in the world. It's a great place to, put your thoughts out there. Now as far as video blogging is concerned, what really inspired me to do this, I give some credit to Jonathan Paula, president of IDEO Productions and producer of my favorite YouTube video series, Is It a Good Idea to Microwave This? Because he recently started a video blog called The World According to John. Ironically enough, that could have been the title of this one, but I think I'm going to call this one the Peddling Prince's Blog Channel or something to that effect. I haven't come up with a title yet. But anyway, it looked like he was having a blast doing his entries. So I said, you know what, that looks like fun. I'm going to do that. I've already done a couple of entries. I did the entry about my antique blender, and I did the entry about the responses to Jonathan Paula's videos about the iPad and so on and so on. I'm thinking, yeah, I think maybe it's time to start move myself into the 21st century and get the video blog thing happening. Not that I'm going to abandon my old blog. I'm still going to be doing text blogging from time to time, depending on the subject matter. If it's something complicated that I want to write an actual article, I'll do it that way. But if it's just something off the top of my head I just want to say right quick and fire out there, I'll do it this way. I'll probably embed these videos in my traditional blog, actually, so that my readers on that blog will be aware that I now have this video blog as well. I had a really embarrassing thing happen to me earlier tonight, though. And long story short, ever since I was a little boy, if I'm in a deep sleep, it's possible for someone to come up and wake me up, or at least look like they woke me up. It looks to them like they woke me up, but I'm not really awake. My eyes are open, I'm talking, but I'm still asleep. It's almost like sleepwalking kind of thing. Now, what happens when that happens is I'll often say things that make absolutely no sense whatsoever. Well, I went to bed really early tonight in the hopes of getting some sleep. That obviously didn't work. Anyway, my friend, a friend of mine called me about a little before 9:30 tonight, and I vaguely remember answering the phone, but then I remember the next thing I remember was her going, "Are you okay? Maybe I'll call you back another time when you're a little more coherent," or something. I don't remember exact words. I remember her saying, "Are you okay?" Those were her exact words, and that. Than as far as that part of it, but I don't remember what she said after that. But I realized when I heard her saying this, oh, something's wrong. So I sat up, I shook my head like this, and I blinked a few times to wake myself up, because I was, and then once I was fully awake, finally, she told me that I was telling her that she owed me money for a cable bill. And I apparently that's just something I just said completely out of the blue. I said, "What the hell are you talking about?" And I finally had to explain to her, no, I was still half asleep when you called me. Basically I was still in a dream. I remembered the dream, or at least vaguely later. I was dreaming about talking to my former fiance Lisa Brewer, good friend now, about the wrestling pay-per-view coming up this weekend. And whether we're going to split the bill and so on. I remember that's what the dream was about, and that's what I was saying about the cable company when she called, because that's where my brain was still half in the dream and half in the waking world. Like I guess it's almost like the kind of autopilot I go on when I'm walking down the street. When I'm walking, sometimes I completely zone out to my surroundings. My brain goes on automatic, stopping for red lights and don't walk signs, but my mind is elsewhere. People have walked right up to me and said hello, and I didn't even see them. I usually tell people when that happens, I'm not ignoring you, just that my mind's on something else. If you want to talk to me, you got to physically tap me on the shoulder to get my attention. And the same thing happens, like I say, when I'm asleep and I'm woke up or half awake. And this is something that kind of runs in my family. My mother's been like that too. I've seen her look at me, but you can talking to me, but you can tell by looking in her eyes that she's not entirely present. And she even says this herself. This happens, and she says things that don't make any sense and doesn't remember the conversation later on. And that's what usually happens to me. In this particular case, my friend's note of concern did wake me up, because when I realized she was worried about me, I figured I got to make sure she knows I'm okay. It's not that there's nothing wrong with me. I'm not sick or anything. I'm just still half asleep. But it is freaking embarrassing when it happens, because I don't want people to think like I'm high on crack or something. That's not the case. I'm just still asleep. I wish I was asleep now. Anyway, I guess that's it for my first official entry on my video blog. If you'd like to keep track of me on YouTube, please feel free to subscribe and rate my videos if you like. All of you out in YouTube land, have a good night.